Today on the workbench, I've got a new project. This is an Atlas CW40-8, and we're going to be changing. This is DCC already, but it was another one of those eBay or Facebook finds, and actually the decoder's bad in it. So we're going to be replacing that, and what we'll use in that is of course we'll put a NixTrainz Decoder Buddy in it, and then we've got a Soundtraxx 21-pin GE decoder and a TCS KA1 Keep Alive. So we might as well just get into this. The way this shell comes off, all you got to do is remove the screws out of the couplers. So, and I'll upgrade the couplers when I put this back together. But it just slides off. So now this does have, of course, it's got the QSI decoder in it, but the way the ditch lights are set up in this, they've got these little pads, and you can see the ditch lights right there. So I'm not going to change those out. They do work. So we'll just wire everything back into our plug. And this is the way this came. So this has to be factory, the way this is. So it's kind of like a little rat's nest of wiring there. But I'm going to end up using reuse both of these speakers. So hopefully this is just going to be kind of a plug and play exercise. Let me pull some of this wiring out. See what we've got here. That looks like our capacitors, got our motor wiring, motor plug, I think some speaker, track pickup. Yeah, so we've got a whole jumble of things right here to pull out. But so what I'm going to do, instead of unplugging all this stuff, I'm just going to cut these fairly short. So I know I've got a track pickup here, and then this is a track pickup. So we've got that. And wow, they've got this ran everywhere, it looks like. So this is the rear lighting. I'm just cutting those off. We'll reuse what we can. So we've got those are speakers. Blue is our common. Looks like a track pickup right there. And then we've got another track pickup. Looks like motor wires. Like I say, I'm basically scrapping this whole board anyway, so now we'll go in and we'll pull our board off. Let me pull this off, because it looks like there's two ways I could do this. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So there's our QSI board, and I see the problem with it right now, because it was giving me a short, and that's got to be it right there. I don't know if you can pick that up or not, but there is something right there. I'll look at that under the magnifier here in a little bit, but that's bad. So this little mount back here, maybe I can reuse that. Nope. Alright, now let's go ahead and pull that off. So that right there is interesting. I wonder if I might be able to reuse that in something. Might be able to reuse it in this. I don't know. I've never done that. But this is what we've got. Okay. So I can reuse the front mount to put the decoder buddy on. Let me pull the lighting board off here. That'll fit right in there nicely. Well, so let's see what we've got so far. And I'll have to kind of watch those because they may end up running down there and hitting the flywheel. Nope. Okay. So we've got our decoder buddy mounted, which that's a good thing. still find this Keep Alive interesting here, but it has 4 wires. Yeah. I am going to take this off of this shelf. Maybe I can reuse that. Because I believe I may have a KA4 that I could use. I could put that in there upside down. Maybe move that. But anyway, let's start to work on our wiring. So it looks like what I want to do here, I mean, I could add wire to this and extend it. As you can see that I'm not able to reach my board. And this board does have resistors on it already. Those 2 wires will fit. But I may drill some holes here. In this rear weight. Just so I can run the track pickups through. Of course, in my motor, and these are speaker wires, or speakers. All right. I think I'm going to have to extend all of those. Okay. I'm going to pull this back off for a minute. That way I can, well, now I should be able to get in there. I believe. So let's go ahead here and we'll hook our speaker up. And I'm going to cut that just a little bit long. way. Turn my soldering iron on. Some stuff out of the way. All right. Let's get some flux and solder on these, get them tinned up. Now if I can get that bent around there the way I would like it. I think I've got it in the position that I would like to have it. There's that one. I've got that one sitting there. All right. So we've got our speakers, or speaker, wired into the new board. Get all the easy stuff out of the way. So we'll wire the motor up here next. Be nice if I could get that. Let's do this. I'll put some flux on that, and then I'll take and I'll tin those. That didn't do a thing. Okay. Now we'll see. Okay, there's that one. There's that one. Now we'll clean that off a little bit. I'll get the track pickups hooked here. We'll see if we got our motor leads right. If I don't have, well, I don't want to say they're not right, but because I can always change the CV to change the direction, normal direction of travel. All right. Anyway, now I'm going to pull this rear weight off, and I'm going to drill a couple of holes. That way I won't have to extend these wires. I can just run them the way they are. So let's pull this off. Of course, you could always file a notch in this. Yeah, you could do whatever, but I'll be back here in a second. Okay, so I've got some holes drilled in this, and go ahead and put that back. Nope. There we go. Right, and I've got my rear light wires run through that also. So now let's strip these off. Okay. So there's our track pickups. Well, at least two of them anyway. But what I want to do now, I'm going to test this and see what we have. Actually, let me pull this wire back through just a little bit. Okay. That'll give me that. Speakers hooked up, track pickups. Actually, let me get my front pickups here, but I gotta dig them out. There's one. And then okay, here's the other one. All right. So I will run that back through all that jumble. deal with these one at a time. That way I don't lose them or something. Get them confused. Trim that off a little bit. Okay, I've actually got it where I need it right there. Okay, so there's that one, and we will be able to run it up through and rearrange it here in a little bit, make it look neater. That cut off. Okay, there's our other track pickup. That out of the way. Okay, I'm going to test this thing out, so I'll be back here in a second. Okay, now I did test this out. It does run. I do have sound. I did switch the motor leads around because I did have them backward, but I did that off camera because it was kind of hard to see. But so I've been trying to decipher the wires here and what they've got in this mess. So all of our positive wires are hooked together. The red is the positive, and then this blue one, that is the front headlight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all this stuff out of the way, and I'm going to redo this jumble of things because I want to get rid of that. And I'm still going to have them all just hooked into one. That way all the positives will just be run into one wire. So, and that's fine because all of our resistors are on the function side, on the negative side. So I'm going to cut these off, or cut this, and then splice them all back together. That way there'll only be one wire run back to the board. And if I do this correctly, I don't know about correctly, but I won't have to add any wire to it. Because if this wasn't here, that would be great. But anyway, let's just go ahead and cut this. Cut that there. And so I'm going to cut this up in here just to see what's there. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah. Get all that jumble out of the way. Now, so this is my longest wire. And I could run all these up to the board. So, well, maybe we can do that. I think I'll put all them on that side. Yeah, because I've got my forward, my rear. I'll put all the positives over here. Just a little bit. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll put some flux on these. Get them tinned up. And then we'll be able to put them right on the board. Start with my shortest one. So we'll turn that over. put them in from the back. Like to put them in from the back, let's say that. Okay. Flux on my fingers. Okay, we've got all our positives hooked up. Now we're going to go with I know this blue one here was the rear, or the front light I mean. So that is this corner pad. So let's cut this and we'll get it fitted in there. So there's my front light. I need to add to the rear lights. Now, what's got me a little bit confused here, for this pad, for the ditch lights on the engineer's side, I have 3 wires. And on the other side, I only have 2. The red and the black. So what I'm going to try is to add this to a function. I'll probably put it on A1. So let's go ahead and get that tinned up. So that's one side. this off. Strip that out. Put it on A3. There, I just heated my other one up enough to where it came off. So let's go ahead. So I've got my rear lights I need to hook up. Where can I put this? I think I'll put that little shelf back on, and then I can put my Keep Alive right there, but I want to cut part of that off, I believe. We'll cut this part of the shelf off. Actually, I may be able to. Yep. There we go. There's that. I'll be able to lay that right in there, and then we can hook up our Keep Alive. So we'll get our double-sided tape. There's that. Now, so our third pad is the ground, and our second one is the positive. So let's get these cut off. Put a little bend in that to where we can keep it on the inside of the board. There's that. So I've still got that one wire right there, and that has got to be the negative or the function for that other ditch light. But they're just set up. I don't know why they've got that set up like the way they do. I'll be back in a second. Okay, we're going to extend our rear light wires, and I just put some flux on those. So really that's all we have left to do here. And then we'll test this thing. And still uncertain about that one wire. But we're going to do something right or wrong. Get some heat shrink on those. Let's see, I wonder, I probably should have ran them through that hole first. Of course, I've actually covered up my hole that I drilled. So, well, we'll run it up through the little pad there. Okay. Here's one. And then number 2. I think we're good to go there. Now we can run this up to our pad. Alright, 2 connections. And of course our red is positive. And then we'll use our corner down there and another one of these. And then we'll get everything cleaned off. And we'll test it out. So there's our positive. And there's our function wire. So we have everything hooked up. Now we'll go ahead and set this shell on here. And then we'll see what we've got. won't my shell go on? Right. What am I hitting on? Alright, I'll be back in a second. Okay. I've got you zoomed in here through, actually this is through my magnifier, so you could see this. So up on the front of this locomotive, I'm going to see if I can get my tweezers in here. So these two pads right here, this pad is the positive side, and this pad is the negative side of the ditch lights. So now let's look at the other side here. Alright, you can see clearly red is positive, black is negative, and there's just two strips. That side of the ditch lights works fine the way I have it hooked up. Now I still don't understand what they're trying to do with all this mess. There's a resistor in here, there's a resistor here. So the positive side is one solid piece, and what I'm going to do to make that ditch light work is I'm going to pull this resistor off. So that'll eliminate from here back. So what I'll do is I'll pull, I think it's that wire right there. Either one of them will work. So actually it's this one. And I've got it hooked up to A2 on the light board. But anyway, I'll take this wire and then I'll hook it directly to this pad right here. And then that'll give me my contact for that ditch light. So, but other than that, everything worked. Well, I do got to troubleshoot the rear light. For some reason, I don't have a rear light. But anyway, everything else seems to be working fine. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. Turn that up. And I know that's hard to see, but let me go ahead and pull that off, and then pull that resistor out. And if this doesn't work, well, then it doesn't work. But it looks like it should work. Let me go ahead and put a little bit of flux in there. Actually, and then I want to put a little bit of solder on that too. And I know that's kind of hard to see. So there's that. All right. Now, let me clean that off. And my alcohol has dried out there. So let me fill my So that's that. Now I'll make sure, and I'll put my magnifier under here again to see if that'll, yeah, so you can see where I put that wire there now. Moved it up to there. But I'm going to unhook this other one. Way I can eliminate that. So, zoom out, close my magnifier. Now I'll pull that function wire off of, I had it on A3. So that's that. Oh, I wanted to pull, I need to test this light. The rear light. So let me get my smart tweezers. And I'm not sure what happened there, because it was, well, unless I've got those on the wrong ones. Maybe I had it hooked up backward. Maybe I blew that bulb. Yeah, that bulb's bad, so I don't know what happened there. But we'll put a new bulb in that. And I do have some of those, so real curious about this, but I want to fix that other. I'm going to fix that rear light before I do anything. So let me go over to my bulb box. We'll get a bulb and I'll be back. Alright, we've got this set up on the turntable here. We've got it completed. So let's let it run through its startup sequence. So we've got her started up, and we've got our horn, the bell. We get it turned around here. You'll be able to see the headlight there. Then we've got our ditch lights. Let's move it around a little bit. We'll kind of stop it right there. Of course, we have our flashing ditch lights. Let's see, what else do we have here? course, we have our startup and our shutdown, which we've already went through that. F7, you can see that headlight dim. That's our rule 17. Then mute and let's see. So that was our grade crossing. Let's try our straight to 8. So you can hear that ramping up. So then we'll go back to idle. So there's that. And let's see. Of course, then there's the cab chatter. And then there, I just shut it down.
Dispatch 11, over. Hey, number 11, can you have locomotive maintenance give us a call about the leader? I'll let locomotive know. Thank you. Out. Dispatcher out.
So there's our cab chatter. And of course, the all aboard.
All aboard!
So all in all, this was a pretty good project. Learned some things. And we'll be able to make the next one even better. But anyway, so we're done with this project. And thanks for watching.